Hello everyone, Phoenix Feather here, and welcome back to another Farming Simulator 17 Let's Play, Let's Talk video where we play some Farming Sim 17, talk about some serious topics. Now today is not so much of a Let's Play, more of just me driving around seeing what I can and can't do. Because we're going to be logging this weekend, and I just want to see where we can cut and where we can't cut. This is pretty tough for a track trailer. I've already gotten the truck stuck back here. But anyway, today's topic is going to be pretty controversial. It's already gotten me in some trouble with some Facebook friends because I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate it at all, and that is cop bashing. It's gotten to a point where literally everybody, with the help of not everybody, sorry, I shouldn't say that. A large group of people is trying to paint cops as the bad guys. They're trying to tell you that the good guys are actually the bad guys. The world we live in. And it's gotten way out of hand, and every time I see it, I'm quick to you know, tell my friends, look, no, hey, that's not how it goes, and you know it. You're full of crap. Have I had run-ins with cops? Yes. Been pulled over a couple times. I've had interactions with cops, both on duty, off duty. You know, they're, for the majority, a great group of people. I can't tell you how many cops I've had interactions with over my life, but it all comes down to the same, except one incident. And this is what people are failing to realize. Yes, there are cops out there who probably shouldn't be wearing a badge. I've had one run-in with a cop where he was just looking to nail me on something and he couldn't, so he just moved along. So, you know, there are cops out there, but much like any profession, you always have that one guy who, well, just takes his job way too seriously, and tries to outdo everyone else. And that was pretty much what this guy's problem was. But there's a lot of people that bash cops for no real reason. Let's take into consideration, this is where it's gotten me in trouble here lately, was the whole Philando, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that name, Castile case, where the guy informed the cop that he had a weapon, and when he reached for his information, the cop shot him. And you know, that's been blown up lately because the cop, it went to trial and the cop was cleared, and people are in outrage, and this has brought the whole bashing of cops back up, and creating a really hostile environment, which caused that shooting to take place in the first place. So is what I get from it. And you know, I keep an open mind about things, because like I said, I know there are cops out there who really shouldn't be wearing a badge, but that was my understanding of this guy. You know, this is what I saw of this guy from the stories that were told, and you know, everything makes you think that, okay, this guy was really just a D-bag. But they released the dash cam footage, and dash cam footage shows you know, he pulls the guy over and informs him that he has a taillight out and asks for license, registration, insurance. The Castile hands over his insurance and then informs the officer that he has a gun on him. The cop responds with saying twice, "Don't reach for it." And still, this guy reached for his wallet, which in turn caused the officer to fire shots and kill the guy. Now, I'm not seeing this guy as a D-bag. I'm seeing this guy as in a world where killing cops is now a norm. You know, cops leave I mean, they just had one die in Delaware. You know, a state trooper was shot at Wawa while pulling over a car. Shot and killed. This is the world we live in. This officer who was told, hey, I got a gun on me, reacts by telling the guy not to reach for it. and the guy still reaches for something unknown to the cop. It was his wallet. The cop just heard he has a gun. He sees him reaching. He reacts. This is the world we live in, guys. This is the world that this whole cop bashing crap has brought us to, where a man who was reaching, informs the cop of the situation, reaches for something. He didn't listen to the cop. This is my best advice to you if you ever have an interaction with a cop. No matter what happens, listen to what that cop tells you. If that cop tells you not to touch anything, don't touch anything. If that cop tells you not to reach for anything, don't reach for anything. If that cop tells you to keep your hands on the steering wheel, you keep your hands on the steering wheel. If that cop tells you to put your hands up, you put your hands up. It's simple. Yet, people who don't listen to the cops, this situation keeps happening. If you look at every situation where this has happened, the victim of the situation has not listened to the cops' requests, not listened to the cops' demands, whatever you want to call it. They have not listened to what the cop said. They take it upon themselves to continue to do something that the cop has told them not to, which leads to unfortunate events. But people don't look at it that way. People just see that this guy was shot, and he was a black guy, so of course it causes outrage, and cops hate black people and all this, but yet the cop that was just shot here in Delaware was black. So this makes no sense to me. This is the world we live in. If that guy would have just kept his hands on the steering wheel instead of reaching for his wallet, he would be alive right now. That cop was not out to get him. That cop was not out to shoot this guy. This cop was afraid for his life with the recent events of that time. Cops were a lot on edge. Cops, today don't even know if they're going to be able to come home to see their families. And it was an unfortunate event, but if that guy would have just kept his hand on the steering wheel, he would be alive right now. Cops don't know. If it was the same situation with me, if I was pulled over and I said, look, hey, I got a gun on me, and the cop says, don't reach for it, my hands would have been right on the steering wheel. I would not have reached for a darn thing. I would have waited for the cop to tell me to get out. I would wait for the cop to remove the weapon from me, and then reach for my wallet or whatever when he tells me to. I wouldn't reach for anything. Okay, it's really that simple. It's really that simple. But people don't want to see it that way. People want to see cops are bad, cops are evil, cops shoot people for fun. Then there's another one that come up recently where the guy was running from police and then got in, I'm not 100% on the story, but he got in an accident which the car caught fire. He was on fire, and he comes out of the car. He's on fire. So then cops respond. They see the guy that they were just chasing that was involved in, what was it? He was involved in something. They know he's armed. They come up onto him, see he's still on fire, but still have their weapons drawn. They don't know that this guy, what this guy could do. I mean, who cares if he's on fire? He might still pull a gun and start trying to shoot people. You never know. And then once they get up on him, they see he's still on fire, and they try to put him out by stomping on it. Not stomping on it. You know how you would put a fire out. Okay? And people reacted and went through the roof. Even one of my favorite YouTubers made a video on it. And I'm just like, wow, okay, no, that's not the case. And I'm so glad that Donut Operator decided to make a video correcting it. So, all they see is this guy who's on fire. Cops decide to run up to him with their guns pointed and then start stomping on him. No, it's not the case. This guy was involved in a crime. He was armed. The cops see him and decide to pull their guns for their own safety. And then once should they just let him burn? Like, do they just let him sit there on fire? You know, no. They do what they can to put the fire out so he doesn't burn to death. And people are all up in outrage. Oh, these cops are a brutal beating, stomping this guy, you know. No, they were putting the fire out. Jesus. Then let's go to the most recent one I saw where woman's getting mouthy with a cop about, she claims she was joking. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not her. I don't know if she was joking or not. But she was telling the cop that he was speeding or something, and so on and so forth. And then she decides to call him a rude ass. Pardon my French, but that's what she called him. And he comes in, asks her not to use profanity in public. And, you know, she says it a couple more times, and he's like, look, I asked you not to, and you continued. And then she decides to argue with him. This is what I'm talking about right here. People, all she had to do was say, all right, sorry, and go about her business. No, she wanted to run her mouth, and then the cop got angry. Now, as the video goes on, he walks to the door. He actually threatens to arrest her because she kept using profanity. I don't know. I don't think you can actually arrest somebody for using language, because if so, I mean, half the people in the mall would be arrested, because all I hear is F F F F F when I'm walking through the mall. But yeah, I don't think you can be arrested for that. But you know, she continues to be mouthy and such, and causing a huge scene. So then the video ends, and right before the video ends, you hear her say, shit. You know, she's antagonizing this cop. I'm sorry again for my language. I'm just putting it, you know, trying my best to relay the events without as minimum language as possible. I know families watch these, but you know, she was purposely antagonizing this cop and wanted to play victim because he was threatening to arrest her. Like, what world do you live in where you can poke a bear and then cry when the bear decides to bite? You know, oh no, the bear's chasing me, gonna rip my face off. Well, why would he do that? Because I poked him. Well, you're an idiot. You deserve it. You know, that's my thoughts on it. And it's. His name's Amari King. He put it best. He's like, look, the cops out there, they'll go from, you know, having to respond and see a body bag put on a kid, you know, a body bag, you know, a kid that should be out enjoying his life, not dead. They'll go from seeing a kid put in a body bag to go respond to somebody's dog being too noisy, and then when they show up on the scene, have to put up with a bunch of people talking crap and running their mouths and, you know, saying F the police and all this. That's what they have to deal with on a daily basis, and people just don't understand that. And the more we bash these cops, and especially when the media backs it up and portrays these people as being 100% innocent, and you know, the cops are always wrong and all this, it creates a hostile environment for these cops. Now more than ever, it's a job where you just don't know if you'll make it home that night. You know, you just don't know, because we're creating this mentality that our cops are bad, and you know, fight back. You know, don't let the cop do this. Don't let the cop do that. No, he's there to protect you. No matter how much crap you give that cop, if someone comes in and decides to start shooting, that cop's going to protect you. That cop's going to do what he can to make sure you're safe and end the threat to your life. That's what a cop's job is. Okay, you know, he's not going to say, "Well, you ran your mouth, so have fun," and walk out. No, you know, he's gonna do what he can to make sure you survive. And we're giving these guys hell. Why? Why is it's okay to bash someone whose job is to save your life? Makes no sense. I'm so happy to live in the community I do. I hate living here, but I'm so happy that I live in a place where cops are appreciated. I follow my local police department on Facebook, and they, there's always people coming in and bringing them treats and saying thank you. And we just had most recently, the school here in town had a day where they backed the blue and Cop Appreciation Day, and then actually I think it's in August. I'll do more of that. I gotta contact that person and see if there's any way I can help. They're doing a walk in their shoes event where you basically walk from the school to the police department, as just say we support cops and stuff like that. It might sound dumb, but I plan on participating. I really do. It's a good cause, and I want to somehow be a part of it. So yeah, I'm happy I live not in the world where there's a whole bunch of chaos and outrage and cop bashing. I live in a community where cops are actually appreciated, and cops are actually supported in their decisions, because they do keep us safe. They do what they need to. I said do, by the way. But yeah. Anyway, that's all I got. That little rant out of the way. That little rant out of my system. I hope you guys do enjoy it. And if you are an adult that's had a bad experience with cops, don't teach that to your kids. Don't teach your kids that cops are evil. Cops are just out to get you, to arrest you, and do you harm and all this. Don't teach your kids that, because cops aren't like that. Just because you had a bad run-in with one cop, like I said, I had a bad experience with a cop, and I don't teach my kids that to fear them. I teach my kids to, if you're ever in trouble, they're who you call. Of course, if you get in trouble, then they're gonna put you in jail. But respect them, because if you ever need them, they'll be there to help you. Holy crap, I didn't know this was all here. There's no other. Okay, I thought there might be another path this way. I didn't know this was all down here. Probably because I never come down here, because there's nothing down here. Anyway, so don't teach your kids, and I even have a brother that's guilty of it. He was teaching his kid that, of course, he was a screw up when he was younger. He was in and out of jail. He did everything he got, he deserved, and he's teaching his kid that it's going to be so unfair to him and all. Don't teach your kids that. Teach them to do right so they don't have any run-ins with cops, and don't teach them that cops are bad, so that way when they're in a position when they're in serious trouble and need a cop to help them, to not ask for that help. If it makes any sense. But anyway, I hope this has struck someone, and someone listens, and maybe you guys agree. I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Feel free to comment down below. I love reading comments and reading different opinions and going, having a discussion with you guys. So feel free. Don't be scared if your opinion differs. I'd love to know what you think. So with that being said, if you guys did like the video, be sure to leave a like down below. If you guys want to see future videos, be sure to click subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye bye.